Hello there, and welcome to EJ Studio. I'm your host, Mini E.
I shall call him Mini-Me.
Today we'll be talking about a game that we all know and love, and share some history about it as well. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll like it. Pac-Man, released on May 22nd, 1980. I mean, who hasn't heard of Pac-Man? It's one of the founding fathers of video games, and was a huge factor in boosting video games into mass media. Puck-puck, or pack-pack, is actually the sound effect in Japan for eating food, thus Pac-Man's name was born. This was found from an exclusive interview with the creator of Pac-Man, Toru Iwatani, in the 2005 game Pac-Man World 3 as a bonus feature. Believe it or not, this is what the creator also said about the development of the game.
ですね、パックマンを考えたときは、当時のアーケードゲームのスペースでは男性がプレイをしていて、エイリアンを殺せというような殺伐としたゲームしかありませんでした。そのため、女性が楽しく遊べるビデオゲームを作れば、アーケードゲームセンターも華やいで、カップルや女性客も来るだろうと、女性をターゲットに考え始めました。
Say what you will, but I think it was a good choice on his behalf to make this decision. The overall splunky and cute graphics appealed to wider audiences, yet progressively got more difficult and challenging for experienced players. To dive deeper into this, we need to see what games led up to Pac-Man's popularity. We'll name a few, dating from 1971 to 1978. Computer Space, Pong, Speed Race, Gunfight, Breakout, and possibly even popular than Pong, Space Invaders. Before Pac-Man, Space Invaders was the game to play back then. Space Invaders was huge back then, and was also a massive hit. The game was so popular that even an urban myth was brought up, saying it caused a coin shortage in Japan, because people were spending it on Space Invaders. Frankly, that was not true. But the theft rate did go up because people were stealing yen and spending it to play the game. If that can't convince you that the game was that much of a hit, I don't know what can. But enough about Space Invaders. When Pac-Man came out about 2 years later, it almost blew Space Invaders out of the water. Taito, the creators of the game, now had competition with Namco. When Pac-Man dropped, it was another huge hit for the gaming arcade scene, and for companies, it was merchandising heaven. Toys, books, and more, and even Coleco made the game portable with their Coleco tabletop arcade systems. And Jerry Buckner, a popular singer at that time, released Pac-Man Fever in 1982. Take a listen. Pretty good, right? Yeah, that's what a lot of people thought back then. With all of this love and praise the game was getting, there was also critics, especially parents. There was no rating system for games back then, and nobody to back up both sides of the argument. Most parents back then were scared. It was new, and it was taking up most of their child's day. They were spending most of their money at the arcade. Approximately 20 billion quarters were spent on Pac-Man. There was anti-game groups trying to take down Pac-Man. Nobody understood the unharmfulness of the game, or its motives. But nevertheless, it prevailed, having a sequel in 1981. That's right, Miss Pac-Man. Following up the success of the first Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man drove even more people into the arcades to get in on the fun. Namco was getting more fond of the new character, and even made a third installment to the series, Junior Pac-Man. All three games had similarities and differences, but we're mostly going to be talking about the differences. First, in sound design. First up is the original Pac-Man, the sound effects being the pellets and the ghosts. Take a listen. Next up, Miss Pac-Man. And lastly, Junior Pac-Man. Next up is how they're played. Each of them have different speeds that the player goes at, so let's review those real quick. As you can see, Pac-Man is about medium speed, not too fast, not too slow. Good for players back then because not a lot of games were that fast-paced. As you can see, Miss Pac-Man is a little bit faster, not too fast, not too slow, kicking it up a notch a little bit, but still overall pretty good. As you can see that Junior Pac-Man, or Pac-Man Jr., is a lot more faster, probably to match his youth, because he's more faster than his parents and has more energy since he's younger. It's really a double-sided coin. It can make the game more difficult with more precise movements, or more fun and more quicker. Another difference only lies in Junior Pac-Man. As you can tell, the screen scrolls when you move, making it a larger maze and more fun. For similarities, one of them being that, of course, they're all part of the Pac family and share a similar look. I know I didn't share a lot of similarities, but I know you all can find them as well. But that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Pac-Man games. There's so many remakes, remasters, and ports that there's just too many to keep up with. All in all, Pac-Man shaped the way games are made today, and were some people's childhood. Pac-Man had many successes, like meet Billy Mitchell, the man who literally beat Pac-Man. You thought it was endless? Think again. And some failures, like a lawsuit including Atari. We'll get into that in a later video. But Pac-Man is one of my all-time favorite games. So thanks for watching. Today, we learned about the history of Pac-Man and what effect it had on the world. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.